Good morning. My name is Belinda Cardwell, and I'm a counselor at Genesis Women's Shelter and Support. Thank you for joining our webinar. I'm also joined today by a co-counselor, and I'll let Noelle introduce herself. Noelle?
Good morning. My name is Noelle, and I'm also a counselor here. Glad to be joining this morning.
We just have a few items to go over before we can start with our content. We just want to remind you that this presentation is for educational purposes only, and please consider your own situation and safety concerns before putting into practice any of the ideas we talked about today. Also about safety while watching the webinar, please watch this in a safe place where only safe people can hear it. Using headphones could help ensure that no one else can hear what you're watching. And remember to clear your browser history after watching this video if someone monitors your phone or computer. If you need to leave the Zoom webinar quickly, if you're watching it while we're recording it, remember that you need to click end a couple of times and then close the Zoom page. As far as confidentiality, that's important to us. So please do not use the chat feature on Zoom. We ask you to do that because if you use the chat feature, your name and comment would appear. And so anyone watching either the video as we're recording it or the video that's later uploaded to YouTube would see your name. So please, for confidentiality, do not use the chat feature. And also on the YouTube video, we have closed comments. So please, if you need any information from the webinar, we'll provide our contact information for you to contact us directly. Because again, we don't want your name being seen by anybody else that could watch the video. Okay, so again, if you have questions, you can either contact me directly. I'm Belinda Cardwell. My number is 214-389-7718, and I'm joined by Noelle. Her number is 214-389-7724, and also listed there are our email addresses, and this information will be repeated at the end of the webinar. So this webinar, again, is for educational purposes. It's not for help if you're in a crisis. If you are in a crisis and you need emergency safety planning or would like to look for emergency shelter due to domestic violence, please call our 24-hour hotline. That number is 214-946-4357. If you'd like to sign up for counseling at Genesis or would like to talk to a counselor about your situation, that number to call is 214-389-7700. Here's some more hotline numbers for your information. There's the Genesis Women's Shelter and Support number, the National Domestic Violence Hotline number, which is 800-799-7233. They also have a chat feature at thehotline.org if you're unable to actually call the hotline. And then there's the National Suicide Hotline number, which is 800-273-8255. So you might want to keep note of these numbers and keep them handy if you feel like you'll need to reach out at a later date. So today we're going to be talking about self-care and how to thrive during uncertainty. But we've all been through some uncertain times lately. And for those of you who are in domestic violence relationships or healing from domestic violence relationship, you have an additional layer of uncertainty. So we're going to talk a little bit about self-care today and why it's so important. It's a simple concept, but it can be difficult to put into practice. It's challenging for victims and survivors of abuse because they've also often been made to feel like they're not worthy of love or care. But the truth is, everyone deserves to be cared for, and we all have the power to be our own caregivers. That's what self-care is all about. Taking care of yourself in ways that feel best to you, focus on your own health and well-being, and bring you comfort. Again, if you've experienced abuse in your life, self-care may seem like a foreign concept, pointless, or even exhausting. But it helps to remember that self-care is not being selfish or self-indulgent. It's simply a tool you can turn to when coping from or healing from an abusive relationship. At first, doing self-care may not seem normal as any new skill that you implement, but start by making small changes and focus on being gentle on yourself. And today, Today we're going to talk about essential self-care strategies and extra self-care strategies. There's about 7 categories of essential self-care strategies. These are the things that you need to implement on a daily basis, again, for your own health and well-being. The first of which is healthy sleep patterns. Sleeping too much or too little can be both emotional and mentally distressing. So in order to get around that, consider implementing a consistent awake and sleep time, perhaps limit use of electronics an hour before bedtime, and just making your bedtime a regular routine. Perhaps you drink a water, you say a little prayer, you do a little meditating, and then you go to bed. So make a routine every night before you go to bed. And get up around the same time each morning. Drinking water, we hear that from a lot of medical health resources that it's very important to drink water, and the recommended intake is 8 glasses of water a day. If that's challenging for you, then just set a goal to gradually increase your water intake over time. Perhaps 1 glass each day for a couple days, and then increase it to 2 extra glasses each day for a couple more days, and so on and so forth until you're up to the 8 glasses of water. We always hear about how good exercise is for us, and especially during times of uncertainty. Moving your body regularly can help you maintain healthy chemical levels in your brain. That's been proven by different research studies. So again, movement is good for your brain. It helps release the healthy chemicals in your brain. And there are many types of movement or exercise. There's walking, running, a workout video. So you need to find out what's best for you, what you enjoy doing, and what you feel brings you some comfort as well as some exercise. Again, back to having a daily routine. Consider picking a consistent daily exercise for the weekdays, and then maybe trying something new on the weekends. And again, that's what makes you feel comfortable, or if you want to stick to the same kind of exercise, and because that's what makes you feel comfortable, then that's acceptable as well. More essential self-care strategies, including fresh air. Getting outside at least once a day can help boost your mood. Personal hygiene, taking care of your personal hygiene also provides normalcy. I know during a lot of the stay-at-home orders, some of us might have let that slip a little bit, staying in our pajamas all day, maybe not taking showers as often as we would have if we were going to be out of our house. So just remember that's important to kind of keep that again on a regular schedule to help provide normalcy. And then we're going to talk a little bit about emotion regulation. We could actually do and have done specific webinars on emotional regulation. We just want to remind you that that's an essential self-care strategy, and that will help you feel more calm during periods of uncertainty if you are able to regulate your emotions. I know that's a big ask. The first thing to do to regulate your emotions is to be aware of your emotions and be accepting that it's okay and it's normal to feel multiple emotions at one time, and even if they contradict each other. Just being aware and accepting is a first step in regulating your emotions, and also using coping skills as needed to address situations and events. And we've talked about coping skills in prior webinars. They could be grounding exercises, they could be meditating, they could be being creative, they could be all kinds of different skills. And so we encourage you to use as many coping skills as needed for your emotional regulation. And then again, just setting up a simple daily routine that will also help you feel kind of normal during our new normal or this period of uncertainty. So now we're going to talk a little bit about extra self-care strategies. And I apologize that this slide is really busy, but I've broken it down into different categories. So adding one self-care strategy daily will help you feel calm, grounded, and less anxious. So the categories are being and remembering. So just kind of being in the moment, whether that's lighting a candle, saying a prayer, lying in the sun and feeling the sun on your body, soaking in a bathtub, relaxing, listening to music. So just being. Or you could be remembering as a little extra self-care strategy, remembering achievements, remembering compliments, remembering past trips. So again, just kind of like giving yourself a little mental break by being or remembering. The next category is planning or doing. So maybe you'd get a good feeling of accomplishment by planning your day's activities, by working on projects around the house or in the garage, by cleaning or organizing, taking care of plants, doing hobbies such as refinishing furniture and recycling old items, or even just reading a book. So that's also that category also includes a lot of activities for your extra self-care strategies, as well as the next category and final category is creating and communicating. So this is kind of the creative part of your brain to kind of let it flex muscle a little bit to help you feel grounded and calm and less anxious. Doodling is popular with our clients, practicing hobbies, maybe singing around the house or playing musical instruments, arranging flowers, cooking a new recipe, learning something new, practicing something new like karate, judo, or yoga, or just maybe listening to others, having a good talk with a safe support member, or writing, either writing in your journal or writing a letter to yourself, safe support. So again, this was a pretty busy slide, but just remember that we want to add one extra self-care strategy daily. It could be in any of these categories or something that has not been mentioned in the slide that you feel is comfortable and brings you comfort. So in order to kind of see how much self-care we need, we kind of need to rate ourselves, right? Because again, self-care is a simple concept, but it's difficult to put in practice. And you also want to take stock of what you're already doing for self-care. But we're going to do a little bit of self-assessment using journal prompts because we're going to approach this way of self-care by putting it in journal form. So during uncertainty, fear is normal. So what level would you rate your fear and why? And you can use any rating scale you care to. And then go on and think about what currently feels out of control and what can you focus on that you can control, right? We obviously don't know what's going to happen in the fall, what's school going to look like? Is there going to be college football? Is there going to be pro football? We don't know any of that, right? But we can focus on how we can control things in our own world and how we can control our self-care in order for us to feel grounded and more calm. And then you might want to just rate yourself in general. How well am I taking care of myself right now? Again, the rating scale is up to you. Scale of 1 to 10, A, B, or C, whatever. But just take a moment and stop and assess how you're feeling right now and how well you're taking care of yourself. And you might want to make a note of what you're doing currently for your self-care. Also, as part of our assessment, we're going to think about, again, what's under our control. So some of us like to watch the news or be on social media, and that can be helpful. Sometimes it's unhelpful. So you need to stop for a minute and think, okay, what am I getting out of watching the news or being on social media? And what's bothering me a little bit about watching the news or being on social media? Again, that's your personal preference, as well as how much time spent watching the news or being on social media. For me personally, I limit how much time I watch the news or I'm on social media. I have a couple of reliable sources that I go to, but I don't spend much time on the news or social media. However, I know fellow counselors are the opposite, where they want to watch as much news as they can and be and as much in the know. That helps with their level of calm, whereas me, it increases my level of anxiety. So again, it's all personal, what feels best to you and what brings you comfort. So we mentioned earlier about the essential self-care activities and the extra self-care activities. So we're going to put these in a journal as a form of boxes versus writing them out. I'm not one to journal my thoughts, but I will do check boxes. So, for example, our daily guide to self-care, how am I feeling today? This goes back to our emotional regulation. What are my feelings? Are they what I've been feeling every day? Is there a new feeling that comes up? Am I drinking my water? Have I increased my water intake? What am I going to do for my exercise? And what's my extra self-care strategy? And what I'm thankful for. Again, that kind of helps you be in the present by practicing gratitude, as well as looking forward to something for the last box. I know we talk a lot about being present, but it certainly helps to have something to look forward to. And the box that has the gentle reminder to get your fresh air today. So we're going to fill one of these out. This is the one I filled out this morning for me. So I feel hopeful because I think there is some news of a vaccination being close to the next stage of trial. But again, I limit my news source. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed because there's still a lot of change and a lot of unknown about the fall, but I'm also feeling grateful. I'm grateful for the support I have with my coworkers here at Genesis, as well as just grateful that I can still be able to do my job and help my clients. My water intake, well, since it's early in the morning, I've only had two glasses. I will probably maybe not reach my 8, but I'll get pretty close. My exercise plan is to go for a walk. My extra self-care strategy is to watch a comedy. I have one that's on my DVR that only takes me about 20 minutes to watch. So I try to at least watch half of it every day. Makes me laugh. And then I'm thankful for Taco Tuesday, right? Kind of just something to look forward to. As well as I'm looking forward to time off during the fall. And I'm going to get my fresh air today when I go for my walk. So that was just a brief summary about self-care and how important it is at any time, but most importantly, during times of uncertainty. Our actions need to be intentional, but they need to be something that makes us feel best about ourselves, that focuses on our own health and well-being, and that brings us comfort. And remember, self-care is not selfish or self-indulgent. It's simply a tool that you can use when coping with or healing from an abusive relationship. So I hope you've learned a little bit of self-care strategies that you didn't know prior. If you would like any of the journal articles or journal sheets, we'd be glad to email those to you. Again, our information will appear at the end of the presentation. And now I'm going to turn it over to Noelle, who's going to take us through a coping skill.
And thanks, Belinda. That was excellent. And I think I just wanted to add to that too. Just love how Belinda brought up that right now, right, we're all feeling this feeling of out of control and a lot of uncertainty, and paying that extra attention to our self-care routine and those little things in our day can really help us increase our sense of feeling in control and feeling a little more certain, at least about like what some things might look like in our day. So I hope that was as helpful for you as it was for me, even just hearing all of that. So we're gonna spend the last part of our webinar today doing a guided nurturing meditation. So I just invite you to sit back in your chair, or if you're on your couch, get comfy, lay back. You can close your eyes during this, and I'm gonna go ahead and start. So just kind of to remind you, some people are better at imagining than others. If you have trouble with this, don't worry, don't force it. Simply let yourself relax and get from the meditation whatever you can. So take a deep breath, get comfortable in your chair, maybe stretch a bit to help you relax, and then you can close your eyes and just let your body relax. Now take a long, slow breath into your belly and exhale slowly and completely. Again, dropping your shoulders as you exhale. Continue natural breathing as you relax into your chair and feel yourself being supported and held by it. Anytime during this meditation, allow yourself to move or to stretch as you feel the urge to help you relax. We will begin a full body relaxation now, starting at the top of your head. Feel the scalp on your head become loose and relaxing. Feel your face begin to relax now. Your forehead is relaxing, and all the small muscles around your eyes are becoming still. Your jaw is relaxed and now clenched, and not clenched, and now your mouth is slightly open. Your neck is beginning to relax as the large muscles of your neck and throat are becoming warm and heavy. Let go of the tension in your neck. Let go of the tension in your shoulders. Feel your shoulders become warm and heavy as the tension drops away. Continue to relax and continue to breathe in and out. Feel your chest and your back relax now as the muscles there become warm. Your arms get warm and heavy with each exhale, and your whole insides of your body are all relaxing. Now allow your pelvis to relax. Feel the chair beneath your buttocks and your legs. Let it hold you up. Feel the warmth of relaxation move down your legs as your thighs become warm and heavy. Your knees, your calves, your ankles, and feet are all becoming warm, heavy, and relaxed. Check your body now, head to toe, for any leftover tension. Allow the relaxation to flow into that part of you and let go. Now, allow your mind to relax. Let go of any thoughts for now. Just let your mind be quiet. Now, with your eyes closed, imagine a blank screen with nothing on it. Is that screen black or white? A picture slowly begins to form on the screen of a cool, welcoming meadow. There is a sign naming this meadow Self-Nurturing Meadow. You are drawn to it as it feels safe and comfortable to you. Feel yourself moving effortlessly into the meadow. You can feel a cool breeze on your skin. What fragrances do you smell? What sounds do you hear? As you look around, you see a figure on the horizon. Your intuition tells you that this is a safe, nurturing presence. You are drawn towards this presence. As you get closer, you recognize this presence as a part of you. It is your own nurturing self waiting to welcome you. As you get closer, you notice she is opening her arms to you, and you naturally fall into her embrace. The two of you sit for a while in silence. You allow yourself to be comforted and nurtured by your own nurturing self. Your nurturing self gives you a box that contains a key to your self-care. Inside the box is an object, a picture, or words that illustrate to you what you and your nurturing self both know is the essential to your self-care. Open the box and look at its contents. What is it that is essential to your self-care? You look up at your nurturing self and you smile at each other knowingly. You promise your nurturing self that you will treasure what is in the box. As you begin to close your box, she jumps into it for safekeeping. You clutch the box to your breast and prepare to move away from the meadow, back to your everyday life. The meadow slowly fades away as you come back to the blank screen in your mind. Are you there? Is the screen white or black? The picture slowly begins to form on the blank screen again. This time it is the room you're in and the things that are around you right now. Open your eyes when you're ready and then take a last deep breath. And that's the end of our meditation, and hopefully you're noticing maybe a change in how tense your body's feeling, or maybe you're noticing that you feel more relaxed now. And at the end here, we will give our contact information again. And thank you all for watching. Belinda, I don't know if you had any last words you wanted to add.
Thank you for that nurturing meditation. I know I was in that meadow, so thank you for that. And again, here's our information. Please don't hesitate to call or email us about questions of the information that we presented today. And again, we will be here next Tuesday, so we look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Bye.